Are you ready? Let's go.
When you're feeling bothered and your spirits low, your friends have turned their back and there's nowhere to go. Don't shed a tear, 'cause God will give you hope. If you're curious, then turn on. The Late Show with your number one man. Hope will light your heart. The Late Show, watch it 'cause it can. This is the Late Show starring Matt the
All the way from the land down under, from the heart of Melbourne, the most livable city in the world, the land of the kangaroos and koalas. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the one and only Matt the Man.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of The Late Show. It's great to have your company as always. So, the other night I was looking at the fruit platter at home and there were bananas and kiwi fruit and apricots and mango and there were apples. And I thought, wow, apples, they're nice and round, they're delicious. And you know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, hey? Speaking of apples, does anyone have an apple they can pass me? Interesting. Not the apple I was looking for, but I guess it's sign of the times, hey? Many gadgets that we use every day are Apple products. And it's no secret that the late Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple Incorporated, is an incredible revolutionary designer and possibly one of the greatest business minds of our era. From his parents' garage in 1976, the young Jobs co-founded Apple, a multi-billion-dollar empire, and his products are now an integral part of our lives. Almost everyone owns an Apple product, whether it be an iPhone or an iPad. Just take a moment to imagine all the effort, focus and determination that it took him to get there. I guess he must have been eating a lot of apples, hey? Jobs once said that great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. So on that note, let's team up today. Go back to basics and try to unravel how to run our own successful business. Starting and running a successful business has its pros and cons. It's both rewarding and challenging, and requires patience and perseverance. There's an endless amount of factors which contribute to the success of a business, but stick with us as we discover and explore these necessary steps to get you where you want to be. Who knows? You could possibly be the next Steve Jobs. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, would you please welcome a gentleman who's a very successful business owner in his own right, as he owns one of the busiest subways in the heart of Melbourne. And if that's not enough, he's also currently the treasurer of St Mary's Coptic Orthodox Church in Melbourne, and an absolute true gentleman. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Fadi Malik. Hi Fadi.
Great to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time tonight, Fadi. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for inviting me on the show. I feel very humbled to be here, and I want to congratulate you guys on doing a great job.
Thanks, Fadi. The pleasure's all ours. So, Fadi, firstly, where should a person begin when starting a new business?
Firstly, it's important to be passionate about the business you want to get into first. The product, in my case, the product and the franchise system was very appealing to me. And I like interacting with customers as well. So in terms of where to go first, I found the net is always a useful tool. There's a website called www.entrepreneur.com. You'll be able to get a list of the top 500 franchises in the world.
Wow, 500.
Yep. You'll also get to find what's working and what's not, and all the new ideas that are coming through. That's obviously if you want to get into a franchise system.
Yeah. Okay. And I suppose, what should a person do when they've got that business idea?
Once you know the type of business you want to get into, you'll probably want to decide whether you want to go existing or set up a new one. There's pros and cons. If you go an existing business, you'll be paying goodwill, top dollar for the business. However, it's probably a lot less risk. If you're going to set up a new one, it's probably going to be much cheaper to start off with. However, you don't have any figures, you don't know where you're going, what sales you're going to do. You're putting your life at risk or all your life saving. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned when you know what type of business you want to get into.
Yes.
But how do you find that passion? How do you find what type of business it is that you're interested in?
Well, for me it was easy because I like interacting with people. I was a regular customer at Subway before I joined the Subway chain. I just wanted something that I can interact with people and on a day-to-day basis. If you're looking at getting an existing business and you don't know where to start, you can simply jump onto commercial. realcommercial.com.au. That website is used by probably most of the business brokers. If it's a new business that you're pursuing, you probably would want to develop a detailed business plan. However, you might need some assistance probably from a professional like an accountant. In my case, my first step was to contact the franchisor and register my interest there.
Okay. And does a person need to have studied a business or commerce degree to start a business?
I don't think so. If you have a look at some of the world's most successful business people, take for example Bill Gates or Richard Branson, for example, they don't have any business degree. They don't have any degree, actually, any uni degree, let alone a business degree.
And yet they're arguably the most successful people in the world.
Yes, yeah. It's their passion that probably is their driving force to their success. Having said that, I think having an accounting or a marketing degree would certainly be a big help.
Okay. And what do you need to consider, both I suppose at the start and throughout the business? What are some of those important?
Sure. Well, it's obviously location is very important at the start. You want to be, if you're going to set up a new business, it doesn't matter where you go, it's always going to cost you the same amount of money, or rent is different in different areas. However, you want to be probably next to a landmark, whether it's a university, a hospital, a train station. You want to be visible as well, corner. You want to see if there's decent parking if you're going to go in the outer suburbs. Once you decide on that, you'll obviously need to consider your cash flow as well. A lot of businesses fail not because they're not successful, rather due to little or no cash flow. You want to consider perhaps setting up an overdraft facility in case you're low on cash, and that will help keeping the business through probably the early stages till it's established. Throughout the business, you'll need to be on top of your marketing strategy. You'll need to keep building the brand awareness. You should always be aware of your competition as well. Never become complacent when things are not going so good. Always be on the lookout for ways to improve your business.
Yeah, continuous improvement.
Yes.
Yeah. I suppose that overdraft facility is really important because a lot of people don't realise when they're starting off a business is that they're going to be incurring a lot of expenses and not a lot of revenues are going to be coming in at the start as well, yeah?
That's exactly right. In a franchise system, it's a bit better. If you're setting up a business, an unknown business, you're going to obviously have a bigger cash flow problem. But in a franchise system, you'd like to think that they will bring you the customers when you open your doors. However, if it's a non-franchise, you definitely need an overdraft facility.
Yeah. Okay. And what are some of those responsibilities and considerations that someone needs to take to make sure that the business is successful?
Okay, well, I think there's probably 4 key points there. First and foremost, time. You need to spend as much time as possible in your business. During this time, you'll be able to identify areas of improvement. You'll find that your staff productivity is a lot better just by being there.
Isn't that interesting? How
it is. And
staff productivity always increases when the boss is around.
Yeah, you can be hiding in a corner for all you know, and the staff will work definitely a lot more efficient than they would when you're not there. The next point is quality. Your product quality should be of the highest quality. If you have a great product, people will come and find you no matter where you are. Like I always admire when I see businesses that sometimes they don't even have any signage at the front of their business. Yet when you go inside, they're very busy, and it makes you wonder like how the hell do they get these customers? It's obviously word of mouth. They have the product. Their prices are not necessarily the cheapest either, but you'll be amazed by having a great quality product. People will talk.
Word of mouth is huge in business.
Yes, definitely. Having a great quality product is essential as well, especially in the Melbourne market. Thirdly, service. Customer service is another important factor. Your business is only as good as your staff. Some people say it's only as good as your worst staff member. So it depends on how selective you are when you recruit your staff. I like to select well-mannered people over experience. You're having great customer service skills is important. You also need to spend time, invest a lot of time training and coaching your staff. Also, a business owner should be leading by example, of course. Always remember, if the customer has a good experience, he's more than likely to tell maybe one or two of his friends. However, if they have a bad experience, they probably tell 10 of their friends.
Absolutely.
And lastly, price is important, especially if you want to take your business, if you want to grow your business or take it to the next level. If you want to become a high turnover business, you need to be competitive in the market. You want to produce the highest quality product and sell it at the lowest possible price, or sell it at an affordable price
To create that customer value.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, if you want to stay just as this one store, it's a different story. But if you want to grow, you need to be competitive. When things are going well, they jack up their price, and in turn, they slowly price themselves out of the market. You obviously don't want to learn it the hard way. Don't get me wrong, you still want to run a profitable business. You don't want to be setting ridiculous margins on your product as well.
Yeah, because that can drive away your customers as well.
Definitely, yeah. Like they control everything at the end of the day. Also, bear in mind, the higher the turnover, the better your buying power is with your suppliers. So that can increase profitability as well once you have that high turnover. These are pretty much the key points to a successful business, in my humble opinion. I hope your listeners find it useful. Never forget spiritual element as well. The Lord that opens and closes the door at the end of the day. There's a beautiful prayer that I like to pray before making a big decision. It's in Egbeya, which is a prayer for guidance.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's at the back of the Egbeya.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for your time tonight, Fatty. It's been great having you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Welcome, Miriam. We're here on Melbourne Madness doing Street Talk, and I just wanted to ask you a few questions. Are you cool with that?
No. Go on.
Okay, I'll go on anyway. So, successful businesses, we're talking about successful businesses. What do you think defines a successful business?
Well, I think that the business success is measured by the customers and how much they're earning, how much attention the business is getting. So it's very much client-based.
What did you read up on it before you came? Or
No.
So what do you think is the difference between what makes that business successful versus an unsuccessful business? What separates them?
Well, do you mean in terms of how much they achieve?
Yeah. Well, why is one achieving so much and one isn't? What's that factor?
Well, there's so much to it. Well, first of all, there's location. So if you're based in an area where the demand is high for a certain product, then you're going with that. Then if you get one client who spreads the word, then that's great for you. There's a matter of competition. So if you're opening a certain store where there are other stores doing the same thing, and yeah, just a matter of luck really. If you achieve recognition to begin with and then you become widespread. What else? Successful business. Customer service. If you're nice, if you're friendly, if you engage people. And there's there's a risk factor involved because if you want to come up with a new funky idea and then it might go off, it might not.
So do you take the risk, you reckon, or do you think that's what makes those business successful? Is because they go the extra mile, they take that risk, or do you think you should just stay, as you are? If you're doing well, just stay that way.
I've never been one to like gamble that way, but if you believe in yourself and that's your dream to go somewhere with a certain business, then you should. But at the same time, I don't think that should be what you spend all your life savings on, because how about if it doesn't go to plan? I think you should have a backup.
Okay, all right, thank you, Marina. Thanks so much for your time. But just before you, sorry, Mariam, I always do this. Just before you go there, I want to ask you, what is your favorite business, Mariam?
Subway.
Why Subway?
Because that's what I eat every day.
Eat fresh. Because you want to eat fresh.
It's not that fresh.
Eat fresh. Mum and Men is here. We're again on Street Talk. I'm joined with my good friend Tony McHale. Tony McHale, we're talking about successful businesses, and I wanted to ask you, what do you think is a successful business?
Well, we're not really good friends though, just clarifying that.
Okay, thanks for
Just putting it there. Yeah.
for public.
I don't want people to be misled thinking that we're best mates or anything. I don't want that.
So
It's alright. It's okay. I still like you, but yeah, no, don't say good friends.
okay, so successful business. Your opinion, please.
I think my business is a successful business.
Can you elaborate further why you think it's a successful business?
Well, several reasons. Once and foremost, because it's my business. Second of all, because it's my business.
Okay, is there any other reason why, what makes your business successful?
Yeah, well, the fact that it's my business and because I've put a lot of work into it, it's become successful over the years. So, yeah, that's the reason my business is successful.
Okay, may I ask what your business is?
Yes, so my business is TMPick. Guys, jump on Facebook, www.facebook.com/TMPick or tmpick.com.au. I'll see you there, guys. Enjoy.
I think I'd just like to say that CYC, nor the Late Show, sponsors this guy's business. Melbourne Madness, we're here with the lovely Marina. Marina, how are you going today?
I'm going well. How are you going?
That's great. All right, so we're talking about successful businesses, and I wanted to know what you think is a successful business.
McDonald's.
Okay, and why do you think McDonald's is successful?
It appeals to a lot of people.
In what way?
It's tasty.
Yep, and that everyone eats?
Yes,
Yep.
and the $2 menu is definitely very appealing. Yes.
Yeah, I live off that menu. All right, except in Siam, where we only live off the fries for $1.
That's right. Or you can get a filet o fish.
Yep.
I can tell you actually a cheap way to do that. So what
Why
you can
does everyone keep doing that?
is get a McChicken burger, the $2 one, then minus the chicken, and then add the filet o fish, and it actually turns out to be less than $2, $1.75, and then you can get a $1 fries. And then if you're a student, you can use your student edge card, and then you have a meal for $2.75. It's a great tip, guys.
Melbourne Madness. Great advice as well. All right, I wanted to ask you, what do you think is the difference between an unsuccessful business and a successful business?
Customer service. Customer service really matters.
Okay, and what does customer service then mean to you?
That's all about me.
So what does that mean? Do you want is it like people approaching you, asking how you are? Do you find that is that too much of a hassle? Do you find that irritating, or is it about the quality, or what is it?
At clothes stores, I don't want people approaching me, but if it's a food store, I'd like a smile, hi, how you going, something like that,
Okay, so just like a friendly gesture, a nice hello here and there, just to know that they're open. Is that yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, what is your favorite business?
I've already told you.
So it's McDonald's. Yeah. Okay, because it helps her get her finance sorted. All right, thank you, Marina.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to Melbourne Madness. I'm on Street Talk here with my good friend Mike, just asking him a few questions about how to run a successful business. So Mike, what do you think is a successful business?
One that makes lots and lots of money.
Okay, all right, would you care to elaborate further on that?
No.
All right, okay, so to you, what do you think is the difference between unsuccessful business and a successful business?
I reckon a successful business makes lots of money.
Okay, so money again?
Money again.
All right, okay, that's fine. What does good customer service mean to you?
I think generally good customer service is what makes a business lots of money.
Okay. All right. Okay. And I've got to ask you this: what is your favorite business?
I think running a mint, because they have lots of money.
More money. All right. Well, thanks for that, Mick.
No worries, anytime. Thanks. All right. See you later.
Street Talk again, Melbourne Madness. I'm here joined with my buddy Ben. Ben, how you going?
I'm well, how are you?
Excellent. All right, so we're here talking to you about CYC businesses. Are you cool with that? Can we talk to you about businesses?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, awesome. What do you think is a successful business, Ben?
Successful business that doesn't go bankrupt, pays your bills, live a nice affluent style, end of story.
Okay, sounds good. Do you know much about businesses, Ben?
Not really.
Don't you like work in the stocks or something? Like, how could you not know?
Yes, but I am an Arab, so I make things up as I go.
Do Arabs know about business?
Easy, the first thing you gotta do is you gotta set up a company that gives you limited liability. Second thing you gotta do is that you gotta pull a few dodgy jobs. Then the third thing you gotta do is tax evasion.
Sound dodgy. Yeah.
Why?
Tax what?
Evasion.
Can't you go to like prison for that?
Don't worry. Bribery always gets you out of it.
Okay. Well, here on in Australia, that's pretty sure that's like punishable by law, and like good things don't happen to you. And I'm pretty sure God will punish you, but whatever. Ben, whoa. All right. Customer service. What does that mean to you?
Customer service is solving the client's problems. Pretending you know what you're talking about, like now.
I agree with that 100%. That you don't need to know what you're saying as long as you sound confident. People will believe you and love you for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, and my last question is, what is your favorite business?
My favorite business would probably be something to do with cupcakes. Cupcakes.
All right, Ben, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Happy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for that, Mina. So it's important to do something that you're passionate about. Fatty mentioned earlier to explore all avenues and do your research first, giving us an example by using the internet. Go to www.entrepreneur.com for information on starting a business and what type of business would suit you. Get cash flowing ASAP. Cash flow is the lifeblood of business and is absolutely essential to feed bottom line profits. You need to have adequate financial resources to sustain the early days of your business. These are often the rough times because you're incurring costs and there's not a lot of revenue being generated. You don't even know if your business will have long-term success or not. So as I said, you need money early on. You don't want to start anything you can't afford to sustain and end up bankrupt. Your location is also really important. Feedback is important, and looking for new ways to improve and keep costs low or increase revenue is also important. Also, as Fatty mentioned, spend time in your business. It's amazing how employee productivity, efficiency, and effectiveness can increase if you're spending time in there. I'm sure a lot of famous, well-off business people started off actually working at the ground level of their businesses instead of heading straight up to executive CEO. And last but not least, remember to consult God and pray and ask for His guidance before undertaking any big decisions. Like Fatty mentioned, there's the beautiful prayer at the back of the Agbeya for asking for God's guidance before making decisions. After all, what is success without God's blessing? So that's my message for today. See you next week.
So, on that note, I think we all leave here today with new knowledge on how to run a successful business. It's all about having a clear vision, maintaining focus, and creating an effective plan for yourself. Set up for yourself a good support system and surround yourself with people who would help you achieve success. And finally, don't forget God in the equation. He'll be your rock, and with God on your side, how can you possibly fail? We all get into businesses for money and success. However, as we heard from Fatty today, you cannot achieve that without being passionate about the business you want to get into. Back to my delicious apple over here. Thank you for joining us on another edition of The Late Show. I'm Matt the Man, and I'll see you next week, you fellow entrepreneurs. Until then, on behalf of our whole team, take care, God bless, and have a great night.
Are you ready? Let's go.
I guess you must have been in. I guess. Episode 14, how to run a successful business. Successful business. Mud with Madness, scene 5.
All right, let's go. Just do it. Just do it.
This is a different program.
Sorry, when they say go action, it's just horrific.
Christian program, we're going to hell.
Scene, I think 7 or something is take 1.
Are they recording?